Hi guys, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Inside My Mind. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this or not. It's just kind of one of those things that you're really uncomfortable to talk about. I've experienced this twice in my life. One was for a very long time, and one was for about, I'd say, 6 months or so. People always wonder why people stay in, unhealthy relationships, and why not just leave? And a lot of people are always asking, how can you stay with someone that's treating you so badly? Well, it's kind of like once you get in that kind of relationship and that mindset, it just becomes comfortable for you. I know that's a weird word to use when you're talking about a toxic relationship, but you do, after so long of a time, you get comfortable with it because that's all you know. And it's not so easy to get out of. I hate that when people say that, well, why can't you just leave? Why are you letting yourself be treated like that? You're so stupid for staying in a relationship like that. Well, if you've ever had a relationship like that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not so easy to walk away. I've been physically and mentally abused in a relationship, in 2 of my relationships. It can really mess with your head pretty badly. Like I said, sorry, I'll probably be pausing a little bit in this one because, like I said, it's hard for me to talk about. Over the years, I guess I've come to learn some of the reasons why I stayed in relationships like that. Most of it's really just being really insecure with yourself, having low self-esteem, thinking that you're not good enough. You have a very bad body image. And, let's kind of face it, I'm not a supermodel. I don't have the looks for that. And I'm fat. So when you kind of feel that way about yourself, you kind of lower your standards, especially in a relationship, because you don't have the confidence. And then there's, the feeling of that you just, you want somebody to love you, so you kind of just take what you can get. It took me a very, very, very long time to understand that, I'm better than that. That I deserve better than that. And it took a lot of work on my part to realize that and to understand that. I definitely still have body image issues, and I definitely am insecure about a lot of things about me. But, I came to realize that, that I deserved better. That I didn't need to, base my worth on, what I look like. And I think a lot of girls go through that. And being in a relationship like that can definitely break you down. It makes you feel helpless. You definitely start thinking that you're not good enough. Because they definitely make you feel like no one else would want you. And then you definitely start to lose people around you that love you and that are your friends, because they don't understand why you're in that kind of relationship, or they can't understand why you're staying. They don't want to deal with it, because like they've told you millions of times that you need to get out of it, but yet you still stay, and they don't understand it. You know, and you get mad at the people because they don't understand what you're going through. You know, I've lost friends because of it. Definitely lost friends because of it. Because they didn't understand why I couldn't just walk away. You just kind of end up letting yourself be treated like that, and before you know it, you know, it's been 5-10 years later and you're still letting that person treat you like that, because you really don't know why. Sorry, like I said, I pause a lot in this one. This one's still kind of a toughy subject for me. You kind of just let yourself be tore down. It's not very easy to pick yourself up after going through that, especially if it's long periods of time. But you can rebuild yourself. You can walk away from something like that and come out better. You definitely have to strip away all the negative comments, all the negative images of yourself. I mean, you just kind of have to strip down, and you know, it's hard. And even if you don't believe good things about yourself, you have to keep telling yourself, and you have to keep believing that, and eventually you will get there. Because it's hard getting rid of all the negative things that someone keeps pounding into your head day after day, year after year. And when you finally do make up your mind to get out of a relationship like that, you definitely have to make sure that you have some kind of support system, whether it be a therapist, a family, friend, someone that you can confide in, someone that you can go to, and someone that's going to understand what you're going through, because you're going to have really bad days afterwards. And you're going to have days where you want to go back because, you know, you think you get in your head that that's what love is, but that's not. It's not what love is at all. And it took me a long time to realize that. It took me a long time to understand actually what love really was. You know, it's embarrassing to talk about. It's hard to talk about. You don't want to let people know that you let someone treat you like that. But you've got to let that go. Because the only way you're going to get over it is if you talk about it. Me personally, I'm still not over it. And it's been years and years. I'm still not over it because I didn't allow myself to feel from that. When I left, I kind of just picked up and went on. I didn't give myself time to heal whatsoever. I didn't deal with it. I pushed it all aside. And if you were in like a bad physical relationship, and if you did like what I did, where you put things aside and just didn't think about them, it comes out later. You'll be sitting somewhere and all of a sudden you'll get this memory, or someone can say something and you'll remember, like if someone would yell at you, definitely brings flashbacks. If you see somebody fighting, that definitely does it. And you don't understand how bad it affects you until like after you leave. The effects are horrible. And like I said, when you get out, it won't be easy, but you can definitely do it. I did it. Like I said, it took me a long time, and it took a lot of hard work because it starts on the inside. So it's difficult, it's rough. I'm still dealing with it. I'm just now, since I got married to my husband, I feel safe and I feel comfortable and I can totally be myself now, and stuff definitely comes out now. Remembering things that you pushed aside and you're angry. You're definitely gonna have a lot of anger. But you know what you do? You just have to forgive and go on. Because if you don't, you're just going to sit there and you're going to stew in your anger. And it's just going to make you feel worse. So I advise anybody that, if you're the person listening, or if you know the person, that if they're going through something like that, just be super supportive. No matter how bad it pisses you off that you can't understand why they're letting themselves be treated like that, stick with them. Like I said, it's hard to explain if you've never been through it, because you can encourage them to go and to get out, but if they're not ready, it's not going to happen. So you just kind of gotta ride it out with them until they're ready to leave. But just make sure that if you're the person that's helping someone else get out of a relationship like that, just make sure you're super supportive and that you make them feel safe. Because if they don't feel safe and if they don't feel supported, they're going to run right back into that relationship. And you don't want that. So, like I said, if anyone's listening that's going through it, or that knows someone that's going through it, I'm definitely here to talk to. Definitely not an expert, but I can definitely share my story with you more in detail. I don't want to go into all the details on this, just because personally there's stuff that I haven't told people, and there's stuff that it's just uncomfortable for me to talk about. As you can see why hear why I'm making this podcast. I get nervous talking. That's why I keep stumbling my words. But this is me, so this is what you guys get. But like I said, if there's anyone that wants to like reach out to me or talk to me about my experience, you can definitely message me, get a hold of me, and I'll help the best I can. I mean, it just helps, even if you just have someone that you don't know, but someone that's went through it, it just helps to talk about it and to get it off your chest. But, okay. I don't know if I'll go into more details about this stuff later on or not. I guess it's just if I eventually get comfortable with talking about it more. But like I said, if you need to reach out, you can, hit me up on my page, on our Facebook page, whatever, message me. I usually always respond really quickly, or pretty quickly. So, alright guys, thanks for listening to me, and I will see you guys next time.